Donald Trump's mission on this planet is to provide material for late-night comedy shows. We were expecting a declaration of war against Venezuela yesterday night. Instead, he just mumbled. Regime change promoters must be so upset, as it looks like aggression might be delayed for next year. Questions have been asked to Southcom, and Southcom referred them to the Pentagon, while the Pentagon referred questions to the White House, and the White House announces a schedule for Trump's announcement, and Donald Trump just mumbles. The last 2 days have been extremely hectic, while inconclusive, and summary by chronological order is as follows. Baseball Caribbean Series, scheduled to be held in Caracas and La Guaira, Venezuela, in February 2026, has been notified that baseball teams of Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico will not attend. Only Cuba or Colombia would participate, along with Venezuela. Rumors suggest that the Caribbean Series of baseball would be held in Mexico instead. Venezuelan baseball team is likely not to attend the baseball's Caribbean Series rescheduled to Mexico if a last-minute change takes effect, because the reason provided of the Venezuelan domestic situation is not valid. Venezuela remains at peace, airports continue functioning, and even Copa Airlines just certified that Maracaibo La Chinita Airport is safe and operations are being continued there. Many years ago, Ramon Guillermo Avoledo, who was the maximum chief of the Democratic Unity Roundtable in 2012, when Enrique Capriles was a presidential candidate, suspended the Venezuelan baseball series many years ago, in the early 2000s, I believe, as he was an executive for Cardenales de Lara baseball team. Regime change has been an ancient topic in Venezuelan baseball. Ivan Gil, Minister of Foreign Affairs in Venezuela, has received credentials for the new Qatar ambassador into Venezuela. Qatar is an extremely important country for dialogue. Qatar Foreign Minister was meeting with United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is maximum regime change promoter for Venezuela. If Qatar succeeds through the new ambassador and through its foreign minister to convince both Marco Rubio and Donald Trump and Ivan Gil and Nicolás Maduro to dialogue, Qatar will earn the maximum diploma of diplomacy. As the United States seems determined in impose a regime change war, and Venezuela seems determined in fighting to defend our sovereignty and dignity. Samuel Moncada is the ambassador of Venezuela at the United Nations in New York City. On December 16th, he sent a first letter to the United Nations Security Council denouncing piracy on the recent seizure of a cargo loaded with Venezuelan petroleum, which was headed to Cuba and Iran. Reports suggest that such ship is at the Dominican Republic rather than at a United States refinery. The United Nations Security Council should meet in the next few days to address international law issues regarding stolen Venezuelan property, such as oil produced by Venezuela, which is not to be looted by the United States. Venezuela defends its right for free commerce, navigation rights, free development, sovereignty, and independence. We sadly announce anniversary of death of our liberator Simón Bolívar and the death of my mentor, Professor Ángel Monagas. He was born in Maracay, Aragua State in Venezuela. He made most of his political career in Maracaibo, Venezuela, and in the last few years, he was settled in Miami, Florida, United States. He was director of website Caiga Quien Caiga. He always proposed very thorough opinions, carefully attending pros and cons from each conflicting side. We extend most heartfelt condolences to Ángel Monagas' family. Donald Trump wrote an idiotic Truth Social post pretending that Venezuela has stolen United States petroleum facilities, which have been nationalized by Venezuela in the 1970s, while the Orinoco Belt developments were nationalized in 2007. International law provides countries the right to nationalize strategic industries as they see fit. Multinational corporations, when engaging in foreign business, they must take into account risk of nationalization. But countries are not supposed to militarily invade abroad if they feel anything has been nationalized, as multinational corporations are supposed to comply with domestic law at the countries where they operate. Stephen Miller provided further details on the United States case for claiming Venezuelan land, territory, and petroleum as if it were from the United States, to which Vice President Delcy Rodriguez clarified that Venezuelan petroleum industry started in 1878 through the Venezuelan-owned business Petrolia del Táchira, with Venezuelan capital and labor. Donald Trump seeks to blockade all maritime commerce from Venezuela so that no oil can depart and no tankers with naphtha and other supplies needed for Venezuela's refining may enter the country. It seems that these United States efforts are failing, as there are reports that a Russian tanker just entered the Caribbean and it's on its way to Jose Refinery in Anzoátegui State, near Barcelona. Ministry of Defense, through the leadership of General Vladimir Padrino Lopez, has also denounced the idiocy of Donald Trump of claiming Venezuelan territory and petroleum as if they were United States property. And Venezuela, of course, will defend our sovereignty and our natural resources as we are accompanied by international law. We are not willing to fall prey to piracy or blockades. We must exert a right to free commerce, regardless of any sanctions provoked by United States. Foreign Minister Ivan Hill held a telephone conversation with the Foreign Minister of China. China is a major ally of Venezuela. They have extensive investment in Venezuelan petroleum industry, and we have a strategic partnership to the highest level. China sees Central and South America as a desirable location for investment, and China will not be deterred by United States Monroe Doctrine Trump corollary. President of Venezuela Nicolás Maduro spoke on the telephone with United Nations General Secretary Antonio Guterres, reaffirming prior communications by Samuel Moncada from the Permanent Mission of Venezuela in New York City. Antonio Guterres replied that conflicts should be solved peacefully and diplomatically. Of course, Donald Trump will not like this idea, as the United States tends to underestimate the power of the United Nations. ALBA group of countries also provided a statement deploring United States ambition to loot Venezuelan territory and petroleum assets. It must be noted, however, that countries supporting this motion were Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia are in a limbo, as they did not sign the letter despite a wonderful video conference meeting that was held a few days ago. Maybe the United States is pressuring Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia so that they do not support Venezuela too much, otherwise they could get restrictions for United States visas for their citizens. United States indeed has provided an oppressive list of countries whose citizens will find it extremely hard to obtain United States visas. Sanctioned countries for migration into the United States for tourism or permanent residency are as follows: Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Cuba, Venezuela, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, Angola, Benin, Ivory Coast, Gabon, Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, Tonga, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Additional countries might have been added or will be added soon. As we can see, Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica have already been placed on that list, so they no longer care if United States continues bothering them, so they are defending their alliance with Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, and St. Kitts and Nevis. While Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, while they remain in ALBA, they are not being supportive to the defense of the territory of their ally. More information on this unfortunate development will be researched, although it seems that the United States is successfully persuading through pressure and force to other countries to surrender. Ivan Gil, foreign minister of Venezuela, also held a telephone conversation with the foreign minister of Senegal, which is again another one of the countries that are being harassed and sanctioned by the United States through visa restrictions to its citizens, and Senegal is also expressing support for Venezuelan territorial integrity and Venezuela's ownership of its petroleum resources. Of course, freedom of navigation, which is being threatened by United States military, is a topic that tends to gather worldwide support, as every country would like to practice free commerce without being blocked by United States military, which threatens war. Again, we still don't know if we will have any war, as Donald Trump was supposed to announce war yesterday night, and instead he just mumbled on national TV. Claudia Sheinbaum, President of Mexico, has also expressed full support to Venezuelan sovereignty, and she would like United Nations to act promptly. Mexico has conviction that non-interference is the most important foreign policy available, and Mexican Constitution prohibits meddling in other countries' internal affairs. Therefore, Mexico deplores United States military harassment in the Caribbean. It must also be noted again that further shooting of fishermen boats happened near the coast of Panama in the Pacific Ocean. United States is executing civilians from foreign countries, and no one is doing anything to prevent such barbarism. Samuel Moncada, permanent representative of Venezuela at the United Nations headquarters in New York City, provided a second letter to the United Nations Security Council. The first letter, as specified earlier, dealt with piracy. This new second letter now deals with United States' recent threat of maritime blockade and pretensions of stealing Venezuelan petroleum industry assets. Therefore, we are adding act of war of blocking free navigation with looting and piracy. United Nations Security Council must meet immediately because the United States is acting in a similar fashion as powers just before World War II acted. There was nobody who stopped it. Society of Nations was ineffective, and shortly after, World War II started. History is rhyming, and we might eventually get into World War III because United States is escalating every day. Nobody seems able to do anything to stop this situation. Venezuela continues preparing its military and its allies, but still, we seek diplomacy and peaceful resolution of conflicts. Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, has also expressed his concern on the situation of Venezuela. Russia has experienced piracy threats and has often had to accompany its petroleum tankers with military escorts. And Sergei Lavrov also alluded to the fishermen boats that were unjustly qualified as terrorists without any proof whatsoever. This planet is concerned on the violations of international law provoked by the United States, and the international community requests a swift return to peace and de-escalation as regime change, looting of petroleum, and annexation of a foreign country's territory violates international law.